So then how did you meet Sean Paul in the first place then?
So my brother knows Zachary. He's out there in the streets, quote unquote, scoring for talent, going to parties, DJing with Syndicate. He's up and around the place trying to promote our little studio and trying to get people to come up there to cut dubs for him. And he goes to a joint called Raphael's, it was called back in the day. I think it was on Hillcrest Avenue. And Raphael's was a ice cream shop. But at nighttime they had live entertainment. And they had an open mic thing going on at night. So a band would be playing there and you could come up to the band and you just said to them like, yo, can you guys play whatever song? And the musicians would play it and you sing. So it sounds like a kind of like a live band karaoke type of scenario. You know what I mean? And people would sit down there. So apparently he went that night and he saw Sean performing up there. And Sean was up there DJing with the band and DJing. He was working with the band and DJing. And Sean, my brother, saw him, and was like, yo, this kid sounds cool. He sounds a lot like Supercat, but I like him. He's wicked. I like his vibe. And he introduced himself to me and said, hey, my brother just came back from Canada and he set up a small studio uptown. And, you should come by and, you know what I'm saying? And maybe you can come by and record some stuff up there or would like to meet you, whatever. He comes back to me and says, yo, I met this kid, this Sean Henriquez is his name, whatever. He sounds a lot like Cat. You should really meet him. I was like, all right, well, he can come. Remember, I'm not looking for an artist. I'm not trying to be a real producer. We're really cutting dub plates. Because this is before the radio. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, all right, let him come, like, whatever. So Zach was so excited. So Sean called the number on the card. No cell phones, but landlines. but Sean called the number on the card and he showed up by the studio. So I met him. And he was like, all right, cool. And he's there hanging out and our friendship built with him. As I said, by now he's meeting Dadagon, who's also hanging out up there. I'm not exactly sure how Lugan Master got there, but they got there. It became a little hangout spot because you have to understand, I'm like uptown Jacksonville. So I rented an apartment. I'm like on the corner of this building. I have a little small built-in studio there. I'm a bachelor. I'm in my mid-20s. And I have like the big screen TV with the Sega Genesis and the PlayStation, bro. So we're running like FIFA and Mortal Kombat and freaking Soul Calibur like all day. Like you could just drive up and just come into the door. So it's a hangout spot, bro. And we have a studio and we're into music. Bro. So all these people are like passing through, bro. So like you go and look in the living room and you just see like, Lexus and Red Rat and Wayne Marshall and Sean. But these are before they're big names. You know what I'm saying? And like dudes like just behind that playing FIFA. You know what I'm saying? Or any kind of video game like that. And then the little studio is there and we're cutting dubs. So basically you can play your video games and wait for your dub time to go cut your dub. And then outside on the front, you see like the man them out there like by the cars in the driveway put up and you see like, Adonai sound system or King Addies or Babyface will be out there. You know what I'm saying? Or Renaissance Travelers, Boxer them. Anybody would just be like kind of like out on the front, like chilling. But we're in cool hills of uptown Jacksonville, bro. There's no bus line running. There's anybody who is there needs to be there. There are no people hanging around begging your shit and trying to get put on. It's just if you came there with the artist you're supposed to work with, you were there.
You know what I'm saying? This sounds like it was an uptown version of Arrows, but it wasn't. Only certain sound man could come there and certain people could come there. But it wasn't just a place where a bag of people hanging out and a bag of stuff is going on, like an Arrows.
Exactly. Very small, condensed area, residential place. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't drive from the street and look and see. There's no sign. There's no, as I said, public transport is not passing there. It's that type of thing. So you're correct. Only people who need to be there at the time would come there. You know what I'm saying? There's no vendor selling no juice outside the gate or nothing stupid like that, bro. It's a residential area. So, you know what I mean? So the people who were there, but it was a scene. And people were respect for the scene and they could kind of hang out. And so Sean drops into the scene. So he's there and then the sound system guys are coming to cut dubs. So they would bring a big artist with them like a Cabra, Sprago. And then I'll be like, yeah, man, you don't know, young artists, it's not Sean Paul and whatever, and Kid Corrupt and some man, and like, oh, Z, wicked. Yeah, man, I'm have some bad tune and dub, and you'd encourage the sound system guys to try and get a dub off of them. Give them a dub basically for free. Because remember, these guys aren't big stars, they're not established. They don't have any songs which are playing. But, if you had a good dub record, like a killer sound dub or something, that would still play it. You know what I'm saying? So you'd encourage them to cut dubs from them. So they'd get a shot to do a dub. Is what I'm saying to you. So now they're up at the studio knowing that if I hang out up here, I could end up doing dubs for Travelers or dubs whichever sound system. You know what I'm saying? And that's how Sean got put on, by doing dub plates for popular sound systems at the time would pass through the studio. King Addies, Babyface was really his champion. And Babyface was the first guy to carry Sean to New York to do a show and was playing all these crazy Sean Paul dubs, really, really, really pushing Sean in the early stages. And I'm saying big up to Face for that. Lion Face, as he's known by now, not Babyface anymore. But yeah. So it kind of started from there. So a sound system thing out of a dub plate thing. Me meeting Sean coming up there, he's hanging out, he's there every day. We're on in this scene every day. I'm working, I'm getting my props as a producer now in the game, So I am bigger than everybody else in the scheme of things. You get me? Because I have like a release out, so I have records out. So you understand me? So like I'm the producer, I own the studio. You know what I mean? So these guys are just the kids, trying to rise underneath me type of thing.
This podcast is brought to you by www.twolinedmusichut.com.